Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. How are we doing? Let me do a vibe check. How are we doing? It's a bit weak-ish. How are we doing this morning? That's what I'm talking about. That's a proper making your mark already. Good morning, senior leaders, distinguished guests, partners, and youth. Welcome to the CEO Connect 2025, Make Your Mark. How excited are you to make your mark today? I'm going to do another vibe check once I introduce myself. My name is Irene Okoye, Business Development Specialist. I'm passionate about growing businesses, but mostly working with people, especially young people, helping them navigate the world of work. I am excited to be amongst incredible people. I see bold change makers, dreamers, innovators, leaders in this room. Yeah? Do you see yourself there? Then you need to give me a proper vibe check. Do you see yourself there? Yes! Amazing. We're all gathered here with one purpose: to connect, to collaborate, and to make our mark. Today isn't just another event, it's a movement. A movement powered by All4YOUthSSA, Alliance partners. Some are here, some are sitting in the audience. And the aim is to bring together various industry partners, development partners, and young people across the Southern African region to create real opportunities, engagement for employability, entrepreneurship, and spaces that share insights and exposure into the world of work. As part of the core of All4YOUthSSA, we know the power of unlocking opportunities to help you take your next career step and thrive in the world of work. This is our 6th year in the running. Vibe check. And in the 6 years, we have seen the power of organizations coming together, young people raising their hands to grow and learn, and partners who have helped make sure no young person is left behind in shaping the future of work and leadership in our region. The CEO and Youth Connect is where the worlds of experience and aspiration meet, where CEOs, visionary leaders, and passionate young people share ideas, exchange insights, and build bridges, because we know the future doesn't belong to one generation alone. It's something we co-create together. I would have said an amen there. So today, let's challenge ideas, ask bold questions, spark conversations that drive action. Let's have fun amongst all the things that we're going to be doing, and make this space where mentorship meets innovation and where every voice, no matter how young, is heard, valued, and celebrated. We welcome the Johannesburg School of Autism, who join us today, as well as our online community. It's time to make your mark. Are you ready? Yes. Are you really ready? You know, the most interesting thing is young people are rising up all over around us and taking a step and making their mark in causes that they care about. And it's exciting to see young people in this room making a mark, taking a step to, boldly walk towards their future. All right, so together let's make our mark. To kick us off this morning, I would like to start by inviting Lerato Morati, Executive Human Capital from Alex Forbes, who are our hosts today, hosts with the mostest, for the day, to share an opening welcome before we head into a much anticipated CEOxYouth Connect. We'll have a panel discussion as well as an interactive session, but I'll walk you through all of that. So put your hands together as we welcome Lerato on stage.
Just want to check if okay, now it sounds clear. Thank you, Irene, and welcome to everyone to our beautiful building. So I've had the opportunity of being a mentor for All4Youth, for one of some amazing young people in this organization. But last year, I also had the opportunity of being a panel member. And so when All4Youth called us, it was a no-brainer. We were really happy to host and to really be part of, the change that we want to see in our country. And so it is really incredible to see so many young people gathered here today. You could have chosen to be anywhere else, but you chose to invest yourselves and your future in these conversations that are going to happen today. And before we get started, I think you should all give yourselves a round of applause. Or as the Gen Zs would say, maybe let's clock it. I Googled it, Ramesh. So the theme this year, Make Your Mark, is quite a powerful one. I think it really is an invitation for all of you to step forward and to be intentional and to leave your footprints in this country. It's about recognizing that no matter where you are or what you do, it's really about making your mark. So it isn't just about fame, it isn't about followers, it's about impact. It's about showing up with courage, with authenticity, and with a sense of responsibility. It's about saying, I was here and I made things better. So as you take part in this conference or in this Connect, in the conversations, the workshops, I want you to keep asking yourselves, what mark do I want to make? Maybe it's in your community, maybe it's through art, it's through technology, it's through being creative, but I think also through what we need the most, which is activism. I think it's important for young people to always speak up. Or it could be in your silent leadership, in how you build others as well. So whatever that looks like, let it come from a place of purpose, let it serve others, because the most powerful marks are the ones that outlive us, the ones that open doors, that shift mindsets and inspire hope. So today I invite you to be fully present, be fearless with your ideas, and when you leave here, don't just take notes, take action. So as I conclude, I would like to leave you with the wise words of a very famous poet, Doja Cat. You gotta be yourself because everyone else is taken. So how you make your mark starts with owning your story, owning your voice, and showing up as the GOAT that you are. Yes. No cap. And on that note, please enjoy the conference.
Amazing. I mean, Lerato with the bars. I thought I was closer to the Gen Zers until Lerato spoke, so I don't know where I'm at. Are we clocking it? What are we doing? Okay, we're clocking. Okay, cool. So let's do this. With the clocking it happening, clock it, right? I'm going to get it. I just want to warm us up before we get into the panel. And I want to find out first of all, let me just put a disclaimer. We've got a lot of stuff actually to give out. So despite the stuff that you've got there, there's more stuff. So as we go into this icebreaker, so be bold, be courageous to speak up, right? I'm just going to ask, just to check, what are your expectations? Anyone, 1, 2 hands, what are your expectations for today? Go for it. Do we have a mic? We have a microphone. And, if you're watching online, please feel free to just tell us, drop something in the chat on what your expectations are for today. We got you. Oh, clocking.
Good morning, everyone. My expectations are driven from last year's expectations, where I first came to All4Youth and I learned a lot of how to run my business, how to drive my business. And this year, my plan is to scale my business to a better level. So my expectations is to get the insights I need to take my business to the next level. Amazing.
Thank you for being so bold. Thank you. Joy is going to send something your way, because we do deliver here. All right, anybody else? Any other expectations in the room? I'll take your hand. Go ahead. Yes. Microphone is coming to you. And then I'll take 2 more, and I'm going to move on to the next question. Oh, people saw the match is coming, so, the hands are going up. Go ahead.
Okay, good morning, everyone. I'm Lisa Madizela, and I'm a student. So I think one of my biggest expectations from today is to step out of my self-assumed limits. Because I think as a student, it's taught quite a lot that there's one path to success. You need to study and then get a job, but there's a lot of entrepreneurs around us and innovative people. So I want to see what kind of path my life can take and what I am capable of doing beyond my own personal limitations.
Amazing. Thanks for sharing. And just a reminder, we've got an amazing array of entrepreneurs that are going to be outside. I hope that you're going to support them when you get a chance to do that a bit later. So thanks for sharing. I'm going to take one more, and then I'll take one from the back, the gentleman with the blue. You're testing my colors here. You know, baby blue, it's going on there. You're almost there, warm. At the back, the gentleman, please stand. That might be helpful. The gentleman, please stand. Yes, thank you very much. I mean, the colors, I was getting there, baby bluish.
Okay. Is this on? Hello, everybody. How are you?
All good.
My name is Kujo Maya from Johannesburg School for Autism. My expectations is to draw art and cards for my school and for my students and for my old friends. My expectations is good for me. I like to draw arts for my future and my son and everything. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thanks for sharing. All right. I'm just going to move on to the next question. And what does making a mark mean to you? I'd love to know that. And if we have some input from our online community, please let us know. I can take 1, 2 responses. I will take one from the back and then I'll come forward. The gentleman, please, go ahead. Please stand.
Hi, everyone. So I'm Hector Ngosi, and could you please repeat your question again?
I like that. You're just shooting your shot. That's exactly what it is. What does making a mark actually mean to you personally?
Check. Oh, there you go. So to me, making your mark basically means personal branding. Who and how do you stand out in terms of the crowd? Do you follow people, or are you the person who's followed? So to me, that's just how I've positioned myself, because previously I was the assistant media manager at Nestle, and then you know how life happens. But I believe that with personal branding, I've positioned myself in a way for people to remember me. So I implore each and every one of you guys just to stand up in your spaces and just make your mark. Make people see you and show them who you really are. That's it.
Awesome. Thank you very much. All right. I am going to just take one, if I can, just one last one. Yeah, roving mic is coming to you. As it comes to you, just some feedback in terms of our online community, just to show you that we are with you and we can see you. Expectations are how to lead with purpose. My expectation is Raisa, that was from Bucks founder, how to lead with purpose. Raisa Mashaba says, my expectation is to be motivated and start hustling to earn a little income. So that's pretty cool. And the last one for us in terms of making your mark.
Morning, everyone. My name is Anesu, and I believe making your mark is looking at yourself and identifying your purpose and your skills and saying, how can I use this to make a difference in my community, be it school, be it where you stay, and all that. Yes, thank you.
Awesomeness, thank you. I'm going to now hand over to Elma Cobb, who is going to lead us in the next part of the session.
Thank you so much for that, Irene. Good morning, everyone. Have we got some CEOs in the room? That's right, love to see it. We're about to have an incredible panel discussion with some CEOs, including myself, who is a CEO as well. Like Irene said, my name is Alma Acob. I'm the CEO of Elevate Africa Academy. And what I do is to help people overcome the number one fear in the world, which is public speaking. And so that's what I do. I've got an incredible panel here, but before I even ask them questions, what I always say at events is, if you don't have a photo, you were never there. But what I'm going to say over here is, if you don't take notes, you weren't listening. And so you're going to take notes, but you're not just going to take notes. You're going to find out who said what, so that when you go to LinkedIn, you get to tag them. And you say, I attended the All4YOUthSSA event, and this individual said this. And because they're such nice people, they're going to come and probably retweet and interact with you. And you can brag and say, I know CEOs personally. Yes? So take down notes, find out who is saying them so that we can continue this conversation. Now, I'm going to ask you guys to introduce yourselves, but I don't want your LinkedIn bio. I want the bio that you send when you're added to a WhatsApp group. So normally when they add you to a group and now it's awkward and they say introduce yourself, that's the bio that I'm looking for. So I'm going to start with you, Asif, right in the corner. Let us know who you are, your organization, and all of that.
Sure. So they did say keep it short as well. So, so thanks so much. My name is Asif Valley. I'm the National Technology Officer at Microsoft. And my role is basically technology advocacy and policy and regulation. So really key, happy to be here and happy to interact with you guys. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Asif. Right next to you, we've got Heidi.
Hi, good morning, everybody, and a warm welcome. Wonderful to be here. I'm Heidi Nelson, and I'm the Chief Client Officer at Publicis Group Africa. And we are one of the leading communications companies in South Africa and across Africa. So lovely to be here.
Thank you so much, Heidi. Mervyn?
Thanks. Good morning, all. Really happy to be here. I think this topic really resonates with me both from a personal perspective as well as professionally. I do represent ABB this morning. I'm the country HR manager, and personally, I think my interest is on how do we remain relevant in this fourth industrial revolution. So I did a little bit of work, some research work, came up with a digital leadership competency. I think you'll find really useful, and we'll be happy to share this with you. So thanks for being here.
Thank you so much, Mervyn. Coming over to the side, yes, Nicole.
The WhatsApp group would probably say crazy hectic mom first. I'm a mom of two, so you taught me something today. I'm going to go back with new lingo, so thank you for that. I'm Nicole. I'm the CEO of Nestlé Eastern Southern Africa region. We are responsible for nourishing Southern Africa, and we look after 23 Eastern Southern African countries here. And the second part of my WhatsApp group would be Nourisher. I think everywhere I go, I'm nourishing women, I'm nourishing youth, I'm lifting as I grow. And today is an extremely special day because it just speaks to purpose for me. So thank you for having me.
Thanks, Nicole. Yes, Luke.
Hi, everyone. Luke Barrett-Smith from Puma, MD. I think what we are in terms of from a company, our belief is greatness begins with the courage to be yourself. And hopefully we get a lot to learn today, and I learn a lot from all of you.
Yes, Natasha.
Good morning, everybody. Let's check that vibe. Awesome. I'm Natasha Parmanand. I am the Managing Director from AdCorp Group. I head up the Business Solutioning Outsourcing Division. And then if you had to ask me from a WhatsApp group, I'm going to say lawyer by profession, decided to pivot about 9 years ago into operations, which was the scariest thing I ever did. Even scarier than having 2 kids. And then maybe technically, if I had to be really, really honest, I'd say my husband's my biggest kid. So mom of 3 kids. But I'm really, really excited to be here. And I think if not for the youth, then who?
Right. Thanks, Natasha.
I still don't know what that means. I was going to say that I considered myself youth until you guys did that. And today is the day that I know I'm no longer youth. My name's Viresh Miraj. I'm from Alex Forbes. The WhatsApp, if it was a family WhatsApp group, my kids would say, Dad, stop messaging us. But It's my privilege to be here today. I'm genuinely humbled to be a part of this discussion today. And as an organization, we're privileged to have you here with us. And what we do as Alex Forbes is we help people make money with their money. That's actually all it boils down to. You invest in yourselves, you're studying, you work hard, you're investing blood, sweat, and tears into your businesses, into your careers. And our role, amongst many others, is to help that money work for you. And that's a discussion that Ryan will take up a bit later, but genuinely looking forward to being a part of this conversation.
Thank you so much for that, Viresh. I love the response that you guys are giving, right? When you hear something you relate to, give it a and then also give it a little bit of a, they'll understand, they'll get it eventually, the clocking. It takes time, but you'll marinate with it. Viresh, hold on to that mic. I want to stay right there with you. We're discussing making your mark, and we've got a lot of young people here who are about to step into the workforce. And so I want to know, and this is a question I'm going to ask everyone, how did you make your mark in your organization? Or what was something that happened that pivoted everything and allowed you to make your mark?
I actually came here to find that out myself. So I'm hoping to learn for myself how to make my mark. And perhaps maybe that's actually my view of things in all seriousness. I don't think that, well, my personal view is you've never arrived. If you feel that, okay, now you're there, then it's maybe time to retire, which we can also help you with, by the way. It's actually very funny because normally in this room, it's full with pensioners. And that's a very different energy to what we're getting here today. But in seriousness, what I think has helped me personally and professionally is curiosity. If there's something that I would like to, and I'll keep coming back to this through the course of today, it's to stay curious. I genuinely think that you and your generation, and including ourselves, but certainly for more yourselves, you're about to step into the most interesting 50 to 100 years in human history ever. The world changes not yearly, not monthly, daily. If you look at what's happening in the States, you look at the elections in New York overnight, you wake up and the world is a different place. And the only way that you can hope to continue making your mark, and it's not just the one, how do you make your mark every day? And to stay relevant every day is to stay curious. How do you learn more and push yourself to learn more and take responsibility for that learning journey? As much as an employer, as much as a university, as much as a mentor can try and help you, it's all down to you. And as your generation, you actually have no excuse. When we were growing up, there wasn't a Google. If you wanted to find out something, you had to work hard to try and find it out. And sorry, it's not even Google anymore. You've got AI. Yeah. You have the world's knowledge at your fingertips. Use it.
Thanks so much for that. And yourself, Natasha? Yes, we are.
I think making your mark it's not something definitive. You make your mark every day. You got to show up. And I think, if you had asked me what helps me make my mark every day is that passion to wake up in the morning. I think the day you lose it's tickets. So you got to be passionate about yourself. You got to really feel it. I can do this. And be your authentic self. Don't change for someone else. Own your skin, own your identity. And I think when you're so comfortable in your skin, everything else falls into place. When you start navigating to suit society, to suit our parents and their ideas, because we know definitely, this just told us that we're very outdated. You got to be yourself. But most importantly, there's two things. One is you got to be passionate. You got to be passionate too for your success. And the second thing is you got to have that grit. I think that's something we underestimate is that determination, that driving force. And I think, every day I say to my kids and my people are here, they know Kio's walked a long journey with me. She was actually one of our first learners at FedEx and then moved into the HR space. So she always says she's one of my legacies. And now she's at AdCorp with me. You got to wake up and you got to show up. Sometimes the day is so difficult and your shoulders feel like you just can't keep it up anymore. But you got to do it to yourself to show up. And you got to believe in yourself. grit and determination. Sometimes it's easy to say that, show up. And sometimes, when we sit here, you'll think, oh, it couldn't have been that difficult, right? Because look at how well they're doing. It was damn tough. So you got to believe in yourself.
Thank you so much for that.
I can say exactly the same, but we're here to make a mark and the learnings to give you something different. And that for me was making the decision that I wanted to have the Puma agency back in 99. And so if there's making a mark, you have to have the courage to go and get it. You can have everything there, but you actually have to wake up and say, okay, I'm actually going to do this now. I'm actually going to take the courage and I'm going to mail. I'm going to send it up the ladder, and here's my name. I want to be part of it. I want to be noticed. And today, I'm where I am today because I took that one moment.
So good.
Would you like me to continue?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I want to build on Luke's one because I think exactly to that. I think, life gives you these doors, and sometimes you have to take some risks and jump right in and open them really wide. I think by way of a story as well, I went a medical route at some point and studied, similar to you guys, about to come into the workforce world, and a door opened that allowed me to start at Nestle on the science side, which I opened and grabbed with both hands. And then quickly I realized the sexy part of corporate life and marketing, and took a risky decision and went completely, shot left from what I had done. And it was so scary, as you said, Luke. I think you've got to be so brave and show such courage. So I think I would leave with you guys in the room, grab the doors, lean in, open them really wide. It's scary and you need courage. But most importantly, sometimes those very brave, risky decisions can have the biggest returns. I'd leave you with that.
Perfect. Yes, let's come back to this side. Go ahead, Mervyn.
Thanks. So maybe just to add a little bit on from what we've been hearing, and there's some nice themes coming out. And in ABB, we have these 4 values. They call the 4 C's. I think initially you heard curiosity, to remain curious. You want to know what's happening. So you have this inquisitive sort of mind, which is great. And we heard courage being shared quite a bit. And that's the second sort of C. There's also care in ABB. And I would just sort of suggest that you've got to take care of yourself as well. So while you're on your journey and you want to make your mark, just remember, to just do that check-in every now and again with yourself. And we also have this collaboration as the 4th C. So those are the 4 C's. And, a great way to make your mark, and it's been coming up a little bit, is really to network and collaborate, and you'll find opportunities come up. And similar to what Nicole was saying, early in my career, I also had an opportunity to be part of another team. So put my hand up and said yes. I was working in the laboratory, Sandbus back then. And then, while being part of that project, got exposed to HR, and in 98 sort of made the change, but only by putting my hand up, networking with people, being recognized, and really got an opportunity to make my mark. So I'll leave you with that on making a mark.
Wonderful.
Thank you. So everything that all these wise people have shared is absolutely true. I'm going to tell you a little story about myself. So once upon a time, and when I was 23, which was many, many years ago, I asked for help to start my own business. And I was an entrepreneur for quite a long time. And I then got the opportunity to sell that small agency that went from myself. And the help that I got was 20,000 Rand. And okay, it was a lot more then than it is today. But by asking for help, I eventually sold that business to a much bigger organization in South Africa. And then I did it all over again, and I sold that one to Publicis. So asking for help, asking for guidance, asking for support from other people is super important. And you do it in a way that is humble, because having humility is also a very important trait. So I'll leave you with asking for help in a humility and having huge humility when you do it.
Wonderful.
Thank you. So I guess there's not much left to be said after all of that. I think I didn't do a good job the first time, so I guess I went last this time. So yeah, so I think the idea is, I come from the tech industry. I've been in the tech industry literally all my life. And you can imagine how that has transformed and changed over the last just 1 year, let alone the last 20 or 30 years. So the transformation is fast, it's quick, right? But the one thing I always stand by is having fun. Is that as long as I'm having fun in what I'm doing and I get all the other stuff that everybody else says. When I wake up in the morning, I have the passion, I have the courage, I have the comfort, I have the care, I have all those things that people think that you need to have. But it starts with making sure, one, that you are curious, that you do get out there. And remember, your journey doesn't start with what you've done, what you've completed now. It's only really starting. I attended an event some years ago where we had a futurist talk about, people will have 4 or 5 different careers in their lifetime. I think he underestimated how many of those you're going to have, because I could see myself probably having about 10 in the last 10 years alone, in terms of the different roles and how I needed to adapt to the things I need to do. So adaptability, curiousness, I love that one. And then having fun will be the third thing I would say I'll leave you with. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Asif. And so those were official questions, so that's why I had to go around the line. I'm going to popcorn them now, but I hope that you've gathered quite a bit of insights from there. Hard work, asking for help. I think as young people, we struggle because we think if we ask for help, it makes us look unprepared and it makes us look like we don't have the qualifications. But if we're hearing from a CEO that we need to ask for help, guess what? We're going to ask for help. Also, the courage to speak up and to put your hand up and to nominate yourself for opportunities. Now, Asif, I'm starting with you just because you're holding the mic. Nothing else. But I want to pick on you because you're Microsoft. And you said yourself, you're in the technological space. And I don't know about you guys, but we're getting to an age where I feel like I need to know how to code. I feel like for me to make my mark, I need to understand AI in a wonderful and fundamental way. And I'm sitting back going, it's just not going in. I don't know Python. And so if I really want to make my mark as a young person, how much of tech do I really need to know?
Well, the fact that you know Python or the word alone is a good starting point.
That's it.
But look, I think so, today, as somebody said earlier, technology is so accessible to everybody here in the room, right? I think so everybody probably can code, everybody can do some kind of tech. The fact that you can do search, AI is making it so much easier, by the way. Even our coders, 80% of the code is generated by AI. So at least it's getting a little easier. So the barriers to entry is definitely lowered for everybody. I noticed that within my own kids. One of my sons qualified as a mechanical engineer. He completed his degree in that December holiday period before he had to actually start working and getting a real job. He decided to retrain himself as a coder. Today, he's a software developer, lives in the Netherlands, and does amazing work, and he loves what he does. So you can literally train yourself in a short while. You just got to have the passion, you got to have the want and need, but the tools are there, the technology is there, and it's accessible and free. That's the amazing thing about the IT space, is that we make everything free because we believe in adoption. Adoption is where kind of how you start to commercialize and democratize the technology that you're creating. So please embrace it.
Awesome. Yeah. I think it's one of those, like you said, you have to want to do it. If you want to get a six-pack, you have to want to go to gym. It's not just going to come and meet you sitting at home. Nicole, quick question to you. Now, you spoke about pivoting in your career, and this generation is a generation that moves. After 2 months, if they're not happy, they're gone. I've seen it with my own 2 eyes. And so if you're trying to make your mark in an organization, how important is it for you to have longevity versus choosing yourself?
Yeah, that's a great question. Very topical for us as CEOs as well. I think if I had to go to bed at night thinking about the thing I think about the most often, it's about talent. It's about keeping talent. So absolutely, I think I'm sure everyone here would agree that that is really difficult for us at the moment. And I think when we look at how talent is being grown in our organizations, we want different voices. So that for me, I'm looking for that. So making your mark by leveraging your difference of opinion. How are you using that? What are you doing with that? So that's what I'm looking for. Second is, as we adapt and technology is moving very quickly through our organizations, of course we want youth that know how to use that technology, but more importantly, we're looking for the natural curiosity to check whether what the tool is giving us is relevant, does it make sense for our operations? And then finally, I would just again implore that our careers, whether you're beginning or in the middle or towards the end, are less about pace and speed and definitely about depth and fulfillment. Now, I know that might sound great, but I'm still at the beginning. Pay attention to the depth of skill that you're gaining. For me, it distinguishes one talent from another. It makes us think about remuneration differently when we see passion, but we also see adaptability, and finally, we see a real depth building. So I would agree, it's great to drive change, and we all want it. But let's just make sure that while you're changing, you're also gaining enough depth while you're doing that variation. So I would add,
Thanks so much for those insights. I could see the nods in the room saying that, yes, we hear you and we agree. Luke, I want to come to you next. Now, when I think about Puma, I think bold. I think arriving in style and in fashion. And as young people, we want to apply, walk into the workplace looking a certain type of way because we want to be seen with certain types of skills. How do you make bold moves, not just in how you look, but in the workplace itself? Because there's that almost a balance between, I don't want to do too much as young people. So I don't want to do too much, but I also want to make bold moves where I'm seen. So how do I balance that?
Okay, so I'm lucky being in Puma. Everyone wants to outdress someone else. So they will all come in, and it keeps me young because trying to wear baggy pants and not trip is quite hard these days. So you keep up with it. But what I will share with you is the journey that I've gone in and seen all the employees join the company. We started with 8 people. We're now 658 people. And to your point in making a mark, I walk the floor and I see everyone. And the biggest thing that impresses me is when I see someone working, and hard is what we want, and we want dedication, as Grit, you said, you have to put it in. But the one that I take a note of is the one smiling. Because there's something there now. That looks like someone's enjoying what they're doing. And if they're smiling, you have a happy boss. It's not hard. But if you don't have happiness and you can't smile, then change jobs. Don't stay. So make your mark can be as simply enjoying yourself, smiling while you do something that you like.
So good. Can we get a smile check in the room? Let's see those pearly whites. Lovely. I think that's a really brilliant example there. Heidi, I'm going to come to you next. You spoke about humility. Now, as young people, we have to balance being humble and being confident at the same time. Because you want to be humble, you're new in the workplace. In fact, cultural background tells us you don't speak to your boss. Your boss exists. You don't look at them in the eye. They are almost a higher power. But at the same time, I'm encouraged to network with my boss. So how do I balance this? I'm trying to be humble, but I'm also trying to be forward without being too forward. What do we do?
It's such an interesting point. So if my daughter was here, she would have gone tone and manner, because I've always taught her from being a very little girl that it's not what you say, it's about how you say it. It's about your body language. It's about the tone and the manner in which you engage with somebody. So confidence is such a precious thing as well, and you need to be confident. And what I do love about the young generation is that they have got tons of confidence.
That's right.
And you must never, ever lose that. But it's about how you show up, and you can ask something that's really difficult, or you can be going into a conflict discussion because your boss is saying to you that you didn't show up until 9:30 yesterday, and that's not the right way to behave. And you can challenge that, but it's about how you do it from a tone and manner perspective. And your bosses do want to hear from you. To Nicole's point, your input into the organization, your ideas are required because you are the leaders of the future. And you need to have a say in how these businesses, any business, continues to evolve and continues to develop and sort of zigs and zags to be relevant for future generations to come.
Thank you so much for that. I think we've got to do a mindset shift, right? We're coming from university where we are just a student number. That's what you're told. You're a little fish in a very big ocean and you're a student number, but you walk into your organization and you're more than that. You are a stakeholder. And so you need to be involved in what you are doing. Natasha, I'm going to come to you. Now, questions come up online asking about imposter syndrome, which is something that I think we all struggle with. And so it says, imposter syndrome is a real thing. We tend to feel like maybe I need to slow down, maybe my opinion isn't needed, maybe I don't have the qualification to speak up. How do I manage that?
It's funny that you raise imposter syndrome, because I think it was last week that I had a discussion with this about someone, and it was actually in an interview. We were interviewing for a manager position, and I was part of the interview panel. And generally, I don't get involved in the interviews, and this was just a critical role, and I really wanted to be quite hands-on in that role. And I asked a very funny question in an interview at the end. I say to the candidate, please tell us 3 reasons why we should not hire you.
Sure.
Right? Because that tells me a lot about the person and about self-awareness. So I think, also to Nicole's point is, self-awareness is really, really important, because that will then help you with the balance of humility, of tone, of manner, right? And what I really liked about this candidate, she was not concerned at all to say, well, one of the reasons you shouldn't hire me is because I do have imposter syndrome from time to time. And it's not a bad thing, because for you to say you have, it means you're self-aware. And if you're self-aware, it just means that, you're still learning. You're still on this journey of finding yourself. Because when you find yourself, and you have to find yourself, you become confident in your skin. And trying to emulate and be something that you're not falls away. You spoke about mindset. It's about moving away. There's an author, Dr. Carol S. Dwecker, that wrote a book on mindset. And she talks about it's so important for us to move away from a fixed mindset, because a fixed mindset we end up with a fixed mindset because society has made us to think in a certain way. We're forced to either be, back in my days, it was either be a doctor, a lawyer, an accountant, and then a few years later, it was, IT is also part of a cool thing to do, right? And you grow up thinking that if I don't be one of those, because society dictates it, your parents dictate it, damn it, I'm actually not a success. Success is not what I dictate or what anyone dictates to society. Success is about you being happy in your skin, you being happy when you wake up in the morning, you being able to put on a smile. So how do you navigate it? It's a process, it's a journey. It's about being comfortable and confident, right? And it comes with time. But the one thing I do want to say is, you've got to be bold. You've got to be bold. You've got to be that lion, because everyone has that lion in you. And it's about time, it's just a timing thing before you find that inner beast in you.
That's right. 100%. No, keep the mic that side. It's going to come to Viresh just now. I want to challenge you that when you think about imposter syndrome, think about it from a positive perspective. And let me tell you how. So you're in a room that you feel you shouldn't be in, maybe because you're the youngest, maybe because you're the only woman, maybe because you look a certain way. Turn that around. How incredible is it that you are in a room that you shouldn't be in? Think how incredible that you are the youngest one in the room. That means you are the most important young voice. You are the only female voice. You are, just change. It's just a change. Instead of, oh my gosh, I'm the only one, it's, oh my gosh, I'm the only one. All right? When you're able to change that mindset, when you're able to change that, you walk into a room with a lot more confidence. Please keep those questions coming online. As you can see, online audience, I'm not forgetting you, so do keep those coming. For those on the floor, we're going to have questions at the end and there are prizes to give out from Nestle and things, so write them down and be ready with them. Varesh, I want to come to you. Now, I want to ask you about collaboration, because I know Alexander Forbes is very big on collab. As people, young people walking into the workspace, how important is it for us to collaborate to make our mark? Because I think we've been told, stay in your lane, do your work, and do it really well. Don't think about what A or B or other departments are doing. Focus on you. How important is it for us to collaborate?
Cannot underemphasize the importance of collaboration. And I think the word collaboration might mean many things to many people. And I think you've got to figure out what it means for yourself on any given day. But it's just working with others. It's getting help from others, but actually more importantly, it's helping others as well. I can tell you, I mean, from my career path at university, we weren't taught Excel as an example. That's a skill you learn on day 1, 2, 3, 100 at the workplace from the person sitting next to you. That's an example of collaboration, and you pass that on. The insights you're getting here today don't have to stay in this room. You can collaborate with your peers, your colleagues. That view of wanting to help, wanting to learn, and wanting to be able to figure out how you do that in an organization or with business partners is a skill set. So irrespective of where you started, where you are now in your journey, or where your first job is, or where your next company is, or what your next startup is, look at that skill set of collaboration as something that you can start practicing. It is an actual muscle that you have to develop. It's like the six-pack that you can't see, but most of us have on stage. But it's something you've got to be consistent with. And why I say that is, I'll tell you a little story. So my first job out of university, so I studied actuarial science, and you come out of university and you think, right, now I've arrived, and you know, I'm going to go into my first job. It's day 1, and that CEO's office is, the door's open for me. My first job was dealing with customer complaints. So the complaints that the call center didn't want to deal with, where the people were too aggressive or it was too, and I didn't understand the products myself. Remember, I've just come out of university. I didn't build the things. And you've got to now figure out, how do you deal with someone who's irate, this is their life savings, and they need someone to explain what's going on. And I obviously couldn't, because I'm new myself, and nothing in university trains you for that. You have to collaborate. It comes back to asking for help. What is collaboration if not helping each other? And as the world becomes more complex, as your worlds become more complex and complicated, you realize that you can't succeed on your own. And that need to collaborate, that need to get help, that need to help each other is what sets successful people and organizations apart. I mean, there's an old saying that no man is an island, and that holds true more so now than ever before because of the interconnectedness of the world that we're in, and most definitely the world that you're going to make an impact in.
Thank you so much. Nicole, did you want to add something? Then I'll come through to Mervyn.
Yeah, I think in a very few days, South Africa will host the GNB20. I mean, we just can be so proud of the work that our country's done. But I want to just connect the point, exactly what you were saying, to collaboration. At the moment, I'm serving as one of the co-chairs on the Agricultural Task Force for President. The complexity of working, for example, with 300 diverse views in one steerco to arrive at a policy statement, you can imagine. But the power of the collaboration when it is unleashed, how complex the problems are that our countries need to solve collectively. Through collaboration, we will be so proud of what the country is going to put forward in a few days' time, and more importantly, creating opportunities for youth, which was the predominant, most transversal thread, that and digitalization for employability. So I fully agree, and we're seeing it live in action in our country right now.
Yeah. Thanks so much for that, Nicole. Mervyn, I want to come to you now. I know you did you did research based on leadership. And so I've got a two-part question. Number one, what can leaders do to create a foundation that allows for young people to make their mark? That's the first one. Then the second one is, as young people stepping into the workplace, how important is it for us to be leaders rather than followers as we're stepping in?
I think that's a great question, and really intrigued on the topic of leadership. And it's like how do you define leadership? And at ABB, we have an interesting sort of concept of leadership. It's really this broad leadership across levels, generations. So the second part of your question is you as leader. So, you can look up for certain things, sure, but a lot of the times it resides with yourself. It's what are you going to do? So this self-leadership concept, through this research that I've been looking at as well, was coming out quite strongly. So we really got to look within. There's obviously times where, a leader, your manager, for example, as leader, or the CEO as leader, can do certain things, visionary, look at ideas, but it's really a collective. So leadership is more a collective, is my view of the topic of leadership. But just to sort of see, as we were sort of speaking, and something that I read recently on this, when you're making your mark, how do you feel? And I'm sure some days, no matter how hard you work, you sort of feel that it's not happening, or you're just not being able to get that satisfaction or the gratification that you thought you were going to feel. And then tomorrow it's the same, and you're still like working, or you're trying to do this, and sometimes you just don't get that gratification. And it's really to do with this mindset and this feel-good productivity. You can have a look at this book. It sort of says it starts with you. And similar to leadership, it really starts with you taking leadership for yourself. And that's the only time where you can sort of emulate those behaviors. So it starts off with you already feeling good. It's not after I do this activity that I'm going to feel good. So you start off your day, like when you were saying, when you get up in the morning, you start off saying, I feel good. And guess what? You'll trick yourself to feeling good, and you're not going to be down. And that's the way you're going to show up. So then you're going to sort of demonstrate leadership. So leadership really, certain things you look up, CEO, give us a vision, where we're going, but broadly, but you're going to make it happen. So self-leadership really becomes crucial.
Reminds me of one of my favorite quotes. It says, if it is to be, it's up to me. I thought you were going to finish it. Obviously, it's my personal favorite quote. Heidi, I've got a question that's directed to you. Now, knowing the unemployment rates in South Africa, chances are we're not speaking to people who are in the workforce, but a number of people who are still trying to get into the workforce. Because unemployment now is not based on a lack of qualifications. The qualifications are there. It's just that there's not enough spaces from what we can hear. The question is, though, how do I stand out, or how do I make my mark when I'm not even in the workplace yet? What are employers looking for? And I'm sure you guys are sitting going, I've got the CV, I'm on LinkedIn. How do I stand out in this marketplace?
Really good question. And it is so sad that we have so many people that are unemployed. So perseverance is a super important thing. And knocking on a door, not only doing something digitally, can also help. Showing up in person helps. So if somebody says, oh, I'm going to give you an interview, but we're going to do it online, you need to say, please, can we do it in person? Because to be completely honest, you are much more powerful when you show up in the room than showing up online. So online's great. It makes life a lot easier and simpler, but it doesn't give you the opportunity to properly sell yourself. And when you do have that opportunity, be prepared. Walk in there knowing that you have given yourself the best chance to land this opportunity, to land this job. Be super prepared. Try and find somebody that might work in that organization that you might know, a friend's friends, brothers, uncles, auntie. Because having a little bit of inside information or a couple of key things that you know about that business that's not only on their website really helps. That impression that you create, that first impression, is always a lasting impression for an employer. So it's about really doing your research. Annual reports are also another great thing, which are in the public domain. Obviously, only listed companies publish them, but those are in the public domain. Don't just look at a website, because a website is really just a summary of who that organization is. Try and get a little bit more info. Use your networks and really try and show up in person and make that first impression, which will be a lasting one.
That's right. Shoot your shot. Now, before I close this off, Nicole, I wanted you to touch on employability opportunities other than employment. For example, the All4Youth, All4 Mentorship program, rather, just for those who are wondering.
Yeah, firstly, to Heidi's point, I think there's realism. Our country is going through some difficult economic pressures. Is the job situation going to get better, or could it actually even get worse? So I think there's firstly the realism that there are, at the moment, only so many jobs. So I think mindset-wise, I'm not employed, or I'm not employed yet, and I'm working on my employability. I think that's where we can, with all due respect, add more impact, is working on the employability. You mentioned it, right? Snap courses, agility online, getting more digitally savvy, networking, building your brand, putting circles around you that could create more employability, that when that opportunity opens, not if, but when, that you will be the most suitable to grab hands. And then the second I would add is South Africa probably is one of the most entrepreneurial hotspots in the world, and it has to do with this mindset. So, don't wait for it to come towards you. Make it. Go and use this incredible hustling culture that we have here that is like nowhere else in the world, and go and create the business. Open the door. Start. Ask for the 20,000, or, let's get going. So I would say those two things, employability is continuous work, and secondly, don't wait for it to come towards you. Go and make it, go and create it, go and start it.
100%. Thank you so much for that, Nicole. And when you meet the likes of, when you're networking with these individuals up here, and you go to Firesh to talk about Alexander Forbes, don't ask him, what opportunities does Alexander Forbes have for me? Tell him, here's what I can do for you. Change the conversation. I think we're constantly asking, what opportunities have you guys got? Imagine if you walked up to a CEO, here's what I can do for you. Changes the conversation. We're going to take 2 questions from the audience. Tell me the question and then tell me exactly who you are sending the question to. So don't say to the whole panel, to make things easier. Hey. Yeah, no. I see why you were struggling here, trying to pick who to get questions from. Let's do lady wearing the white over there. We're going to do 3 and then we're going to close off. Gentleman with the afro at the back. Know yourself. And then let's do lady with the glasses in the middle. Those 3.
Yes. Hi everyone. So I wrote my question down because I'm fast and I speak, so I want to read it out. So in the next 2 weeks, I'll be pitching to Gibbs and Standard Bank because I've been doing a program with them for young entrepreneurs for the past 6 months. So for me to be able to graduate, I have to pitch to them. So now I'm afraid, I've never pitched before. I'm preparing for a pitch. So this question goes to CEO from ABB to give me advice on how I can, something that I'm going to remember as I'm preparing for my pitch. Thank you.
Awesome. Can I ask that you remember that question? We're going to go through all 3 so that if there are any add-on questions, we can answer them all at once.
Hi, my name is Salman. So this question is to Microsoft. What's the famous saying that AI will one day take over our jobs? In what way can you contradict the statement and say that AI can't take over your job?
We'll see if he can contradict it. He might just agree. And then there was last one over here.
Sorry. Good morning, everyone. My name is Danielle. My question is directed to Mr. Luke. I just wanted to know, you said that you had a vision of being a part of Puma in the 19-something. And I just wanted to know, how do you...
She said, you're old.
Guys, I forgot the year. I just wanted to, I just wanted to know, how do you differentiate between being driven and focused on and having a vision on something and being narrow-minded or being fixed on one thing where there's so many like opportunities all around you? Yeah, I just wanted to know, how do you differentiate between the two? Thank you.
Awesome. So we've got prizes for those 3 people who asked questions. We're going to give the Puma prize to the Puma question. We've got headphones here from Nestle as well, and then we'll grab a third one from the back. So we've got question about pitching, question about is AI taking over, and then 1900s. Okay. Please go ahead.
All right. Yeah, great question about how you're going to do this pitch. So you're gonna have to go in there confident, and one way to be confident is to be over prepared, not just prepared. So you're really going to know your subject. So if you've identified a product that you're going to now want to pitch, and you're going to have to go in with what is this product going to solve. So you're going to have to sort of say, this is the problem, and this is why my product is the answer. This is how it's going to solve this sort of issue. But you're going to have to say it in a believable way. So I'm just going to stress, you got to be prepared and use AI to guide you a little bit. You're going to get a lot of insights. Some of it, may make sense. Some maybe won't be appropriate. Fine. And this is where you're going to go with that curious mindset. You're going to want to sift through it and see what is going to work. But really, it's going to be solutions focused, and build your confidence by being really understanding the subject and understanding how you're going to solve this issue, and they're going to want to buy it from you.
Thanks so much for that, Mervyn. Yes, Asif.
You're looking forward to this one, are you?
I am.
Great. So I think so, like every other industrial revolution, we've seen transformation go through, and the world is where it is today, and that's going to continue, right? So AI is one of those technologies today that is transforming what we all do. So the fact that it's probably what we call a general purpose technology, it's really impacting every person here in the room. So, whereas other technologies impacted very specific industries, this one is impacting everybody. And I always like to use the example of Ravi Naidu, who is the CEO of Yes. When he approached us to talk about AI, his vision was that every person that goes through his program, and he has about 30,000 a year that goes through his program, is that whether you're a plumber, a carpenter, electrician, he wants to train them on AI because it's going to impact them, because they're going to be able to use it in a positive way. So will AI take jobs? Sure. Some jobs will be lost, but there will be more jobs created in the future and in the process of that. So I think the future is bright. I would leave all of you with the opportunity of actually going and skilling yourself up today. Whether you're a plumber, technician, or nurse, or a professional in a doctor or wherever you're studying, please go and understand what AI can do for you in your industry. And that's available to you, or reach out to me on LinkedIn and I'll connect you guys. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that. Yes, Luke. Oh, we've got only one mic. Can we have our second mic?
Just before I answer the 90s question over there, with your interview that you're going to go for, and for every one of you that are going to go for an interview, you're never going to get it right, maybe the first time, maybe not the second time. But what you can do is ask the question, what can I do better? So when I come back, you know what you've done wrong. You have to learn on your journey. You cannot just accept the fact that, okay, I wasn't accepted. You don't know that there were 3,000 applicants and only 10 were interviewed. So actually, that's quite a success. You need to find that out. So just to answer to you, even whatever happens, always leave knowing how you can improve. All right. Then to the big question down there. The journey, that dream, that thing that we want, first and foremost, you have a dream, and I hope you all have a dream. I believe a dream doesn't become a reality. You share it. Okay? You need to share it before it becomes a reality. My journey and why that decision in the 90s was to join Puma Some believe that that happens because there's other things at play. Things that your destination is maybe planned for you. But what I can tell you is that my journey, that when it started there, changed all the time. And the excitement along the way molded to me where I am today. And I found out things that I liked. I decided to drop a huge business when I had the agency for Puma. I controlled the whole agency just to go into corporate because I wanted to work with people. My life changed. My needs changed. Sometimes we don't acknowledge the small moves as we get to the big position that actually create who we are today. Don't lose touch of that. How many of you are sitting in this room can honestly say that you're probably better than your parents and in your achievements that you're sitting right now? You've already improved.
Is to invest in South Africa and investing in a way that not only looks after like financial returns, which are very important, but also in the impact that we make within our borders. How do we invest in a way that creates jobs? How do we invest in a way that maintains jobs? How do we invest in a way and into companies that actually look to benefit South Africa and create opportunities for people sitting in the room here today? So that's a key part of what the people working upstairs do day in, day out. A commitment to yourselves, and it'll come up in a following session, is that we also believe we've got a role to play in helping educate and help people make better financial decisions. As I said at the start, you're going to work very hard for your money. Everything that everyone's described takes effort. It takes emotional effort. It takes physical effort. It takes sacrifice. And we want you to benefit from the fruits that come with that. And so the education that goes into that, and it's a funny thing because we've done the research amongst universities, so with professors, with lecturers, and they are as financially illiterate as the rest of us. It does not matter what you've studied. It does not matter who you are. The reality of our situation is that when it comes to money, most of us are in the very same position, that we actually don't know how to actually use it properly. And hence, a key part of the role that we play and we make available to yourselves is to educate you about the options you have available and the simple decisions you can make in order to make more with what you have.
Thanks so much for that. Yes, Nash, let's go down the line.
I think, from our side as AdCorp Group, one of the first things is we are the largest workforce solutions company in Africa. We've got the largest footprint. We range from providing opportunities in terms of blue collar, white collar, and the outsourcing space. So not only do we look and we commit to assisting the youth as well as to the people of South Africa to find employment. That's one. Two, in conjunction with the employment aspect, we always believe that while you are working and while you are on your journey, it is important that we are continuously learning. Because learning is not just a privilege, it is also a responsibility. And as part of our commitment, we've established PMI, which is an academy. It's a training academy that we have that can go up to honors level. So while we have in circa flexible and perm staff of over 40,000 in South Africa alone, we also commit to ensuring that our people are on that journey of continuous learning. And while we look at our people as our employees, we also commit outside the organization to ensuring that those who cannot afford, those who do not have an opportunity, we have an entire division that's dedicated, and one of our ladies are here, in terms of bursaries, opportunities to pay for your studies, opportunities for learnerships where you can either be placed in one of our divisions to get practical experience. We have mentorship programs. So we don't only invest in the employment side of it, we invest in the education side of it. So the end-to-end workforce journey is what we look at. And we commit not just to our employees, but to the people of South Africa. If you need an opportunity, we can't be everything to everyone. That's the reality. But we can do the best that we can within what we have. And we really do, it's something that's very close to our hearts, which is making sure that we have a sustainable, economically active population. So I do urge those that are here today and those that are online to please do reach out, because there are opportunities, there are avenues. And I just want to touch on the AI thing because I thought it was like so fascinating, right? My CEO always creates this analogy. He says, in the days of the candle makers, Thomas Edison came about and he created the light bulb. So either make different candles, which means you're not keeping up with it and we don't have candles anymore, so clearly that didn't work, or embrace the change. And if you embrace the change and you run in parallel with it, it'll take you on the journey. And right now we sit in a room full of Thomas Edisons. So don't think of AI as replacing us. Think of it as enabling us to be better versions. Because hundreds of years down the line, we're still using light bulbs. And it's created copious amounts of jobs. So from an AdCorp perspective, we're very committed to the employment side, to making you employable, getting you into the economically active society that we need you to be in, but also please embark on a learning journey as well.
Thank you so much. Yes, Luke.
Great. So from Puma's perspective, we could make everyone look amazing when they go to work. But the truth is, as we get bigger, we get more financial to support, and therefore our CSRs and all our commitments, we can do more. But I think what maybe you don't know is that when we started this, we imported all our product. And maybe, well, next year, I hope to have the 9 million pairs of shoes made here. So it's about what you as a company can do for the outside people. In the manufacturing world, we're growing them. For success, you need everyone else that is part of that journey. Sometimes it's not just the employees at the company, it's what that company does in its diversity in terms of right through the whole country.
Thanks, Luke. As we're making these nice and short and sweet because we have run out of time, Viresh, if you can do a quick tag team with Ryan, because I know that you need to go. And Ryan, I'll welcome you properly just now, but please go ahead, Nicole.
Thank you.
Thanks, Viresh. Give him a round of applause. Thank you so much.
It's her incredible CEO way of saying short, snappy. So I'd say 3 things. The first is Nestle runs international youth drives, and really that's for pure job creation. We'll stay committed to that. At the moment, we have 180 youths in our organization across the value stream. That's something we want to do again and again and again. So exposure, number 1. Second, I spoke about it, employability. If we can't give pure jobs, how are we giving skills? How are we giving exposure? How do we making sure that we keep committing on skills-based depth? And then the third and final one would be mentoring. I think probably my single most enjoyable part of my job is paying forward and lifting. Like as we grow, we lift. And I would leave with you, who are you lifting? Is there a young person that as you're going about your journey, are you paying it forward? Are you also lifting? So that in turn we can coach and create very positive circles. So fully agree. Final one, I think it goes without saying, is partnership. So firstly, just thanks in advance to all the partners around the initiative. It takes like-minded companies to do this intentional work in youth. Again, we have our business pressures, but I think, again, thanks to everyone here, we can do it when we do it together. So thank you again.
Thanks so much for that, Nicole. Yes, Mervyn.
Great, thanks. At ABB, maybe just to share ABB's purpose is really to enable a sustainable and resource-efficient future. And the way ABB does this is through leading technology in automation and electrification. So if you're in that space, to look out. We also have graduate programs, so there's a commitment from us to obviously continue with this. So to look out in our website and to apply for those graduate programs. We also do learnerships and partnerships is great because, like Nicole was saying, we probably can't do all of it, and also then the reach, and that's why partnerships become really crucial. So we partner with other companies to do these learnerships, so to also look out for those. And at ABB, we also have a trust fund, and this is where bursaries are then being issued. So they are, it's already been launched, and I just checked before coming, I think last week already, bursary applications have been opened. So through the ABB Education Trust Fund, there's that opportunity as well. So to look out for those.
Thank you so much. Yes, Heidi.
Thank you. So we run a very, I would say, extensive learnership program within the Publicis Group on an annual basis. The learnership program is a 12-month program, and we take real pride in that we have about an 80% rate where those people that come through the learnership program then get permanent employment. So that's really important, and if you're interested, come and chat to me a bit later or link up on LinkedIn, and I'll put you in touch with the correct people in our talent department, because we are recruiting at the moment for people to start from the 1st of February next year. And then obviously, I think again to everybody on the panel here, and to Nicole's earlier point about collaboration, we are so much more powerful when we do it together. And our commitment to Nestlé for All4Youth continues with all these partners. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much. Lastly, Asif.
So it's definitely not a question that's snappy and quick, unfortunately. So Microsoft's mission is to empower every person, every organization to achieve more. And really, how do we do that, right? And one of the ways is skilling. So we are super invested in skilling everywhere from primary, secondary, tertiary education, all the way through to the workforce, and helping people develop as they're in the workforce, going through that space. So really, please reach out to us. I don't want to spend too much time going through all the programs, but the one that you see behind me, the AI Skills Navigator, we launched that earlier in the year, and we trained almost 1 million people already this year, just in South Africa, on really to become more AI aware and develop some of the basic AI skills. And we're continuing to do that. We launched last week a platform called Icanva, which provides you, in partnership with GIZ, skills for all the way from digital literacy, so pay it forward, get your parents to actually start to go and skill themselves up. Nobody should be left behind in this digital journey that we're on. So everywhere from literacy all the way through the AI skills that you need, coding skills, capabilities that you need, is all available today for you. But please reach out, and I think so you'll have fun with the journey. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Asif. Can I give all my panels, can I give them a round of applause for those insights? Thank you so much. So we're going to switch things up a bit. We're going to play a game with you, right, called Would You Rather. So some of you have got these by your seats, but if you don't, we're going to do a lift the hand or put your hand down. At the back, at the back of your seat. In the back. Look inside your bags and you will find tickets that you can hold up. Sorry, I've quickly grabbed yours. I'm going to explain it. If you don't have one, just raise your hand for A or put it down for B. So even if you don't get one, it's fine. We're still going to interact with you. So if you hear A, hand up, B, hand down. That goes for the online audience as well. If it's A for you, just lift up your virtual hand. And if it's B, keep your hand down. So as a practice run, all right, the age-old story of tea versus coffee. If you are tea, let me see you put up A. If you are B, let me see you put up B. If you are neither hot chocolate, just give me a icona, just a icona, neither one. All right, let's get into does everyone have one, CEOs? Let's get right into it. Okay, we're gonna have more corporate questions, but feel free to tell us the honest truth. All right, first one is for A, would you rather have a boss that gives clear instructions, or B, a boss who gives you the freedom to just figure it out? A, clear instructions. B, I'm gonna figure it out. I'm seeing lots of, who we got over here? You guys need to participate as well. Yeah. Okay, is that a 50-50? It also looks in the room like it's a bit of a 7-3. What do you think?
I think
There's more A.
there's a lot. There's
You
a lot
guys
of
want
loose A's.
instructions. Oh.
No. You can't hold B and A at the same time for auditing purposes.
All right, so it seems like our young people want to get instructions, CEOs. That's interesting to know because you think with us we just want to figure it out, but we're trying to tell you we actually want instructions.
Yeah, I think it's a balance of both. Hey?
Indeed,
Yeah.
indeed. Second question that we're going to have is, do you want to get a really great mentor? So one individual who's going to assist you in your journey and guide you to finding opportunities, or do you want to go to an event and network with many individuals who will help you find your next opportunity? So A, that one mentor who's there, like your guidance, or B, I want to network with everyone. A, triple A on this side. We've got B's here.
There's a lot of A's here.
All right, so I want to speak to someone who just said B. Just give me a B person.
Let's go with the lady in the white. Do you mind standing?
Just
They will
project
hand
your
you
voice,
over-
even if we don't have a mic. Project.
There should be something, a microphone.
So
there.
why do you want to network? Awesome. Thank you so much. I love that. Networking changed my life. So, and this is also for our CEOs and stakeholders to listen to what young people are actually interested in so that you can host more networking events and things like that. All right, so next question, question number 3. Do you want to work for a startup that's experiencing high growth, but now you know with a startup there's uncertainty, but it's high growth? Or do you want to work with a large organization that's been around and has structure? So A, let's do high growth, let's get there. It's normally these tech companies. Let's get it done.
Elma, you're leading the witness here.
Have I said a lot about tech? I love tech. Or B, large, just give me my job, let me do it.
So it's A or B.
Okay, so Luke, you're giving me both, ne? I'm gonna ask you, grab the mic for me, tell me why you are standing on the ledge.
I'm standing on the edge because I started it. And so now we're B, and when I look at the room, many of you are going to get an opportunity, and some of you are going to have to be entrepreneurs. And so, therefore, you're going to have to start at the A. And then B is going to give you a corporate ladder, and you're going to be dynamic, and you're going to grow up, and you're going to eventually get to the top. So that's why I put up both, because it really depends where you are going to start.
It's almost like you can see my notes, Luke, because my next question was going to be, do you A, want to have a startup, so your own business, or do you B, want to work for an organization? Okay, CEOs, it's a bit tough for you guys, because if you say startup, no.
It's a bit late for that now, but you can start over. You can start over.
All right, so I've got Ryan over here who's going to talk about A, why it is that you want to do a startup, Ryan. Are you telling Alexander Forbes something? Okay. Let's give Ryan the mic, and then we're also going to get from the audience.
We're going to go with, there's a lady who's got both. The one in black and white, she's going to go next.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Ryan, please just start by introducing yourself since we didn't get to meet you.
What is it now? Morning, everyone. Just quick, I was sitting on the side just listening here. And first of all, I want to say everyone in this room is better than we were at your age.
Yeah.
None of us were as bold as you. None of us were as brave as you. So you've started your journey. Secondly, to the lady that's nervous about presenting, everyone here woke up in the morning nervous. Every one of us.
Yeah.
Nerves is good. It holds you true to who you are, and you bring authenticity when you're nervous. So why would I want to start a startup? I don't necessarily think when I look at startups as a corporate versus on my own. I've done startups at Alexander Forbes. And scary as hell. But yes, did it get you out of bed in the morning? Okay, got you going, got that blood going, got that drive going. And working in an established business, going to a startup and coming back to an established business made me run the established business like a startup.
That's good. That's good. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the mic.
Just push.
So she had both A and B. So
Okay.
I'm curious.
Okay, for me, I believe being an entrepreneur actually allows you to put your own vision out there instead of actually following somebody else's established vision. But being in a corporation also allows you to actually see how other people see the field that you're currently in. So this allows you to actually have a broader perspective on other things while also being able to stand on what you believe in as a visionary. So that's just
standing on business.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. I think about, let's say, one or two more, but the one that I want to ask, and this is also for me, I'm very interested. Would you rather, A, work from home and be a digital nomad, or B, go to the office and wear your corporate attire and work from the office?
Nobody's trying to go to the office here.
Have we got B's all around?
Nobody's trying, even the CEOs are not trying to go to the office.
Okay, so we've got, I think we've got more B's than A's. I think, are you guys saying we must return back to the office?
What? Why? Actually, no, I'm quite curious.
We didn't
I'm gonna
talk about
pick-
this.
Yeah, let's talk about it. Let's table it. Let's table it. All right. So if you think we need to go back to the office, I just want to pick a gentleman that hasn't spoken. The ladies,
Yeah.
I'm going to come back to you. Let's go with you, sir. If you can project, that's cool, but the mic is also coming to you. Yeah.
So, do I still need this? Okay. So I think once you're at home, there's comfort. So there's many things. Like I think you've seen some videos of people. You enter an interview, you only have a shirt on at the bottom. So I think those are such things. I think getting to office, it also helps you to refresh. I mean, you're getting up, you have to drive to work. Once you get there, it's just that 8 hours that you're at the work. When you're done, you're coming back home, and then from there, it's your time to relax. If you're at home, it's work, 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 work. When you're done, you're already at home. And
Go outside. Go outside.
oh.
No, I totally get you. Thank you. And somebody had, let's not go back to the office. I just want one. Yes, go, if you can stand, please. A, which is at the beach. Mm-hmm.
Go to the office because I have kids, so I'd like to be there, go out. So I have that opportunity when I'm at home. Oh, yeah. So I have that opportunity to go out there and be involved in activities and figure out what I can do, like even go to the gym, for example. You know, so when you're at work, by the time you get home, you're tired. You don't even want to cook or do anything or even talk to anyone because you're so exhausted. You know, so I'm cool with being at home because there's a lot I can do, you know.
Ladies got things to do. Quite practical. I think there was one hand up here. Do you want to go? Yes?
Thank you. Morning, guys. So I'm saying I'm an advocate for hybrid working. So in my current role, I am fully remote, guys. And when I started, I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. Thank God. No. You lose so much structure. I think one thing I appreciate about going to the office here and there is that you structure your day. You wake up at 8 a.m. in the morning, you bath, you get dressed. It just gives you a bit of structure. I think even for your mental health, it does so much for you because working from home every day, you're in the same space. You're not speaking to anyone. People who are going into the office, they're getting more networking opportunities. They're speaking to the leaders. They're speaking to your managers, and you're at home. You're talking to people on Teams. So I think for your own growth, finding a balance, I think, is the way to go.
Yeah, balance
Thank
is
you
quite
so much
important.
for that.
Yeah, maybe one a comment from one of the CEOs on that one. Yeah, look.
Mike
There's
is
another
stuck on that side.
So, as you all know, you're either an introvert or you're an extrovert, right? Well, so, so what we found in the office was by having this work from home or choosing who was going to come into the office, I found all my extroverts came to the office, and all my introverts stayed at home. But what was very clear is that everyone became more in that field, and they didn't become a hybrid. There were no spontroverts. It's not a word, by the way, I made it up. You need to combine the two people to get the ultimate output. You can't just be trapped in one world.
Thanks so much for that, Luke. Did you want to quickly say something? Go ahead.
I think the worrying part that I'm seeing at Nestle, we're running hybrid, so fully agree. I think the best of both. How do we find, that space in the middle? I'm finding it's extremely important for women talent and how we can retain women talent. So I think there's pros and cons to your point. The part that I'm finding quite worrying is that in the hybrid model still, there's not enough time to teach youth to do the knowledge transfer. And I think as CEOs, we are quite worried about that. And I think, don't see it as we want to go back more just for pure efficiency and productivity. We genuinely are worried about talent development, and you should be worried about that too, because where will you get those opportunities, as Luke said, if not face-to-face? Sit down, show me, teach me. And you don't get that, with all due respect, sitting at home in your shirt at the top, casual.
Thanks so much for that, Nicole. Look, the next time that this question is asked, we'll have a conversation before.
Yeah.
Because these are the CEOs in the room. And so if we go back to work tomorrow, it's going to be because of you guys. So thank you very much for your contributions. I really do appreciate it. But with that being said, to my incredible panelists, let's just give them a round of applause again for such an amazing conversation. And as I close this off and hand over to you, Irene, it's been an absolute pleasure moderating this conversation. And I want to tell you, if you want to make your mark, it starts with you, and it starts today. Thanks, Irene.
Thanks, Alma. So to our wonderful panel, thank you. Our volunteers are going to guide you to the stakeholder room. And an absolute thank you to all the volunteers that showed up today. Can we give them a woo-woo? Yeah. So I'm going to let you off the stage. Thank you very much.
Do we need to do photos? Can we do a photo?
Oh, group photo. They did show up, so,
Step forward.
So in case you're wondering what's coming up, before we even get to that, I would love to encourage you, if you're on social media, please hashtag the CEO. Let me tell you the proper hashtags. I don't want to lie to you, all right? Tag us on All4YouthSSA. And your hashtags are hashtag make your mark, hashtag All4YouthSSA, and hashtag CEOxYouth Connect 25. I'll repeat those in a bit. Tag us. You could stand a chance to win some merch. So please tag us. When you do take pictures outside, when you're networking, please tag us on something on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, everywhere, right? Guys, we say money. All right, so that it's not awkward for all of us, right? So what's going to happen next for the rest of us? There is a connect area where you will have an opportunity to network with each other. There will be some of the alliance partners that will be doing some speed networking, right? You can go and ask your one-on-one questions, the things that you wanted to ask, but too shy to ask, or no time to do that. There'll be an opportunity for you to do that. And also just look at what the entrepreneurs have out there. And there's a lot of experiential stuff that you can do. There's a photo booth, there's popcorn, there's a lot of good things happening outside. And then there will be lunch served later, in case you're wondering when does the real stuff happen. It's happening. It is happening at 12. So we can't eat in this area, just to remind you, no food allowed in this area, but you will have enough space outside in the foyer to do that. And then after lunch, we will have a masterclass, financial literacy, and that's by Alex Forbes. And we'll have all for mentorship success stories, in case you're wondering, okay, so what happens? We've got a bunch of alumni who will be talking about their stories. And we also have AI tools in storytelling. Because you guys were asking about AI, are we going to be replaced? Da, 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 da. So how do we optimize AI for storytelling? That is by Microsoft Elevate. So, any questions from the audience? How did you find the session? I've got a question. How did you find the session? I will take 4 people. Let's go with you, ma'am. We'll start with you.
I would say I found the session like quite educational for someone like kind of all those things coming from CEOs. I would say it's quite shocking that CEOs would actually think this way. Like, if it was me thinking like that, people would be like, "You're not professional. You know, you can't wear that to work." You know, but coming from CEOs, I would say it's quite shocking and educational, but also amazing at the same time.
Yeah, I think the world of work is really changing, and what was considered not professional is also that explanation or description of what professional means is actually changing and shifting. So it's great not to have any barriers, or what I call boxes. There are no boxes anymore. I will go with a gentleman, and then I'll come back to a lady. Gentlemen, where are you? Where? There's one at the back. Yes. Make your mark. Sorry. Sorry, I wasn't quite clear with my hand pointing. Yes, gentleman at the back.
What I would say about the session was that it was like giving more confidence to us as youth. I don't know about you guys, but then I got more confidence being in a room full of like big corporate people, especially CEOs. It gave me more confidence in like reaching out and also talking to people on a higher level to network and also know what skills I need to do to actually gain more opportunities in the big organizations.
Absolutely, thank you. Okay, we are down to the last 2. Yes, ma'am. Go. You can stand so that they'll see you and pass the microphone to you.
I think this session and the panel was very informative for me, especially as a young Black woman that is trying to be an amazing Black person in these spaces. It was very, like, it was so inspirational as well to see that you can actually be a person even if you're a CEO. Like, I saw different personalities in the panel, and that was amazing because I can be myself and still be the boss, you know? So, yeah, man, like, I love this, man. Keep doing what you're doing. Clock it.
All right, one last one. Yes, ma'am. The microphone will get to you in a second.
Thank you. For me, this was an amazing opportunity coming from Menkosa, one of the online private higher education institutions. But I think what everyone needs to realize, exactly what Robin Sharma says, we lead without a title. Wherever you are, in whatever space that you are, be human and bring back the kindness to human beings. So those CEOs have titles, but they're human first. And it's about connecting with each other. If we cannot develop those relationships and the rapport, then how are we going to move forward with our structures and our plans and our visions? And just remember, we need each one. It doesn't matter your title in any organization, in any business. We need each other because together we build that vision. Thank you.
Awesome.
Can I quickly say something? Yeah. Okay, awesome, guys. So the conversation is still going to continue. What I just want to ask is if our stakeholders and invited guests can go to the stakeholder forum for our discussion that's going to happen there. And then you can continue, and then afterwards everyone can go to the Kazakh. So thanks, Irene.
All right, I think we're about to wrap it up over here, but what I want to remind us is just some of the things that we've learned today. You know, stay curious, have fun in the process, ask for help, right? Don't be scared. What's the worst that could happen? Shoot that shot. Yeah? So I want to encourage you to go outside, network with some of the alliance partners that are there. If you have more direct questions in terms of, do you have an opening? What can I do for you? And all of that, please feel free to engage with them, ask for help, ask for numbers, ask for details, whatever would be useful for you. Also buy from the entrepreneurs. You're also entrepreneurs in the making, right? Buy from them. There's some popcorn outside. There's a photo booth. So have fun. And then after lunch, like I say, that's when we'll have the master classes, right? And you can choose which one you want to be part of, okay? Well, thank you. You've been an awesome audience. Thank you very much. Hi.